What's up? And welcome back to another episode of Overtakes F1 podcast. Today, we're going to talk about the upcoming race, Azerbaijan. Pretty good, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, she did
not
pretty
bad.
good.
Thank you.
Not bad.
And we're going to talk about all the stuff that has happened. I mean, I think we should just go straight to the big one.
Yeah,
Adrian Newey has
Yep.
finally chosen his team.
yep,
Felt like LeBron's decision, you know?
yeah. It really did.
There's a little
did.
presentation and everything.
It was.
He's-
I didn't watch the presentation because I'm not a huge fan of the Stroll antics, but
Mm.
I know it was pretty elaborate, and I know that the package they gave him was significant.
What do you know about the package? Share it with us.
That they're giving him a ton of money and partnership percentage of Aston Martin. I'm assuming just the racing team, but
I didn't know about
What's-
the partnership part until you mentioned it, but I heard something about like 25 million a year.
yeah.
That's already huge. Plus
Yeah.
partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah, but that was gonna be
Just
my question.
retire, dude.
Is it like the motorsport team, or is it like the car organization?
Nah,
And
it'd be the car.
you
It's
figure that out.
Yeah, it's
Nah,
got to
it's like
just be the
two
racing
separate-
team.
two separate things.
Well, okay, so here's my question. Ferrari gave Lewis Hamilton ownership, didn't they?
I think they did. I can't remember.
I think that was one of the deal breakers because Mercedes wasn't giving it to him.
Yeah.
So do we think that maybe that's kind of why Adrian Newey ended up settling? One of the reasons why he settled Aston Martin, because I think Ferrari just gave up a chunk to Lewis Hamilton, and then they got another guy coming in going, "Hey, give me a chunk too." So I could have seen how that might have been a little too much asking.
It's possible, yeah.
I mean, you don't think he's got a good retirement plan already?
Oh, sure.
I mean,
I'm sure he
yeah.
does, but more is
But
always
money
better.
talks and BS walks.
Okay, but when is too much money like enough?
I mean, he's still enjoying doing what he's doing. Like the reason, so I watched a pretty long interview. It was about an hour and a half. It was on the High Performance.
I was gonna
podcast.
watch that one, Eddie. I got fed to it
Yeah.
yesterday. Yeah.
I really like
The
their
title
stuff.
was really good. Yeah.
But he was talking about how ever since they started, when was it? Ever since he mentioned a race, it was early on in the season. He realized that all the dominance was like boring, and he wanted a new challenge. And he's like, I could have just sat back and collected paychecks with Red Bull, but I wanted a challenge. So I mean, he still really enjoys the working part. And Aston Martin's got a ton of new facilities, and they're keep making more. So it was probably a pretty enticing deal for him, and he gets to stay close to his home.
I guess it's pretty cool to be a part of building something. You know, if he goes to Ferrari, it's something that's already been.
Yeah,
And Aston Martin is a new team that wants to succeed and has the money, and Lawrence can give it to him.
I see big
and he
potential.
can be a part of
I see
making
really
something.
big potential.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We'll see if they can make it happen.
that's what I liked about my old
It'll
job.
take a few years.
Mhm.
I'll tell you what, it won't happen in the next 1, 2, 3 years. This whole Aston Martin thing, they might become a contender 4 or 5 in. Like they're
I think
gonna be learning.
2026.
Adrian Newey. You think?
He doesn't start working until March of next year, so he's not really going to affect their car
but
next year.
But come on, Eddie. He's not just gonna come in. Well, you never know. He's
the
not
reason
just gonna come in
2026
and then like
the reason I
bam.
say 2026 is because it's a completely new formula. So everybody's starting from scratch in January. So Aston Martin's going to be 2 months behind,
right.
but they're all starting from scratch.
Yeah. So you're okay because they're designing now the car for next year.
Correct.
So that means he has no contribution.
Correct. Until March of next year.
He will
So
be
he can
working
help him fix
on-
mistakes.
Okay, yeah, but then his first big major project will be 2026.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But we'll see how much aerodynamics play a factor, because a lot of people are saying, a lot of people more knowledgeable than me are saying that it's going to be an engine-based formula, meaning the person with the best engine is probably going to have the fastest car. So they're going to be, I think, the only ones with a Honda engine, and Honda's done really well with Red Bull these last few years. So we'll see if they can make a good engine for the new regulations, which are going to be more electric based and stuff.
Is Austin? Do we know if Aston Martin is the only team that's going to have a Honda engine?
Yeah, I think they are.
Because I did read that he said he was happy to continue working with Honda. I was like, well, I wonder if there was Adrian Newey.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, like that might have also played a factor that he gets to keep working with that. There seems like there were so many things that just kind of like made it easy for him to choose where to go.
Yeah.
It just grinds my gears. Like, who wants to see Stroll driving in an Adrian Newey car?
Listen, Lance Stroll has been on level, if not better, sometimes than Fernando Alonso this year. Hot take.
All right, I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna go look at all the results from this season, and I'm gonna come back and tell you how many times Alonso has been better than him.
They have no, Alonso's been better, sure, but they have one of the closest head-to-heads on the grid.
Between teammates.
Alonso doesn't care.
Between teammates, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll circle back to that. But the other thing I had read about Aston Martin was that they're already pursuing Max Verstappen.
Yeah. Aston Martin's nuts, man. They've taken so many people from Red Bull, and now they got Adrian Newey, and now they're gonna go after Max. It's nuts.
Hey,
and it seems possible.
They got the bread.
They do.
Got the bread.
But the crazy thing I'm reading is that Max would be replacing Stroll. That's the crazy thing I'm reading. That they would be sending Stroll to like a sub team. I don't think it's like, the lower level Formula Ones.
Yeah,
I think
like a GT3. Different. I think that's what that people have been saying Lance Stroll should do, is go race like GT3, like the supercars.
Sure. Oh.
I think Lance Stroll should take a stroll.
Hey, hot take
out of F1.
Got him.
I like it.
Anyways, let's move on. Because there's more stuff here that's pretty cool that I like that Eddie included. We all know that Kevin Magnussen will not be racing this weekend because he got those little penalty points that he was trying not to get, which he finally picked up in Monza.
Can I say that he picked
Go ahead.
The instance that actually gave him the penalty points is like the least egregious
thing out of all the penalty points that he got.
All the ones that he's done in the past. All the ones that he's
Tell her I said hi.
Hi. No, honestly, Eddie, going back to that, I didn't even know that he got points like during the race, and then I kept reading in Twitter after that, like, oh, he got enough points. He's not gonna be there for the next race, and I was just like, how? So I kind of looked it up, and I'm like, where? Like, I didn't really notice how he should have gotten the points. Maybe you
right?
kind of explain that.
It's funny. We were so focused in the whole like race in the front that like I didn't even hear about this whole Kevin Magnussen bumping into Gasly thing. I was like, when did this happen? And then I saw the replay. I'm like, that?
Yeah, it was nuts. Like, of all the things that he's done since he's been on 10 penalty points, this is the one that they hit him with. This was like the straw that broke the camel's back. That they're like, he can't. What the next thing? No matter what it is, we give him the penalty points.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be on the grid next year, correct?
Unlikely.
Yeah, at this point. So he's going to retire.
His license is going to be too expensive.
and he could just like really cause some chaos before
Yeah.
he leaves. I mean,
He's gonna
why
have
not?
0 penalty points
Yeah,
with 7 races to go. Total mayhem. Nobody can say that he's not a team
F1
player. Though.
Derby.
He does anything and everything to help his team score points.
I think I saw Formula God actually had a really good point about that. Did you see his post, Eddie? Formula One God or Formula God? I know that you told me that you were familiar with him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I might have seen it. I don't know what post you're talking about.
This is what it says. This is going to be insane because he is banned from Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Kevin Magnussen will be back on 0 penalty points for the final 7 races of his F1 career. The amount of carnage he's about to cause is going to be generational.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He could potentially be like the GOAT. What's the GOAT's name? Latifi. He could be a Latifi and kind of help determine who's going to win the world championship.
Latifi was good at crashing into walls. Kevin Magnussen's good at crashing into cars.
That's correct. 100% agree with Eddie.
I didn't mean it in that way, but
with all that, and he still almost got like 8th place or something in that race. It was insane.
All in all, it's
was
just
cool
a
race.
Latifi on the wall.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. I had a few beers.
Oh, a few?
No, just one.
Okay.
All right, what's next? Oh, anyways, so Ollie Behrman is going to be replacing Kevin Magnussen for Haas.
That's right. That's
which
right.
brings to the point that if he scores points, remember, Eddie, you brought this up. If he scores points, he's going to score points for 2 different F1 teams in the same season.
I want him to score points.
Yeah.
How about that?
I was going to ask you guys what predictions, or if you guys wanted to add a predictions thing just for Ollie Behrman at the end, or if you guys want to just give one
like a bonus
bold prediction, yeah, or if you guys just want to give one now, we don't have to count it for points.
In what way?
Like, how do you think he's going to do?
I don't think he's going to score
driving
points.
a Haas,
which is not a bad car.
No,
it's a very fast car, especially around the circuit. It should be pretty good.
If he scores points, he's either 10 or 9.
So
he's not going to be in the top 8.
A little bit of backstory. Ollie Behrman has won this race twice in a row in Formula 2. And I think he won the sprint and the race this year.
Mm-hmm.
Baku?
So he's good. He's good in Baku, yeah. And
I thought they didn't race
here. Formula 2? Maybe it was last year.
I thought Formula 2 didn't race here.
Maybe it was last year that he did it. But he definitely won here the last time F2 raced in Baku. He won the sprint and the feature race.
Okay.
So how do you guys think he's
going to be 9-10 or not score? He's going to be anywhere between 9 and
He's going to be anywhere between 9th and 20th.
No, I think he's 9th.
He's going to be 9-10 or not score. That's what she said.
I'll be more specific. 9 through 12. That's where he's going to place. In that like 4 spot range.
Gotcha. That's pretty good. What do you think, Will?
I don't think he's going to score points. I'll tell you that. But he might be, let's say, 13.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go the other end. I think he's gonna be like 15, 16.
P3.
No, I think he's gonna be like. I think he's gonna have. I think they're just gonna use this as a teaching moment, and that they're gonna make sure that he doesn't like the only focus is gonna be not to crash the car, since he's already got the.
Wait, he's driving Kevin Magnussen's car, right?
Yeah.
I think that car is just automatically gonna run into other cars, and he's gonna do it.
That's what it's designed to do.
That's funny.
The car's like, come on, run into the other ones.
Possessed car.
No, but seriously, he doesn't have anything to prove because he's already got a contract, so he doesn't need to go balls to the wall.
I'll tell you what. P14. I changed my mind. 14.
Here we go. So I have 15
Let me write
and
that
below,
down.
I guess.
I'm gonna write that down.
9 to 12 over here.
Ali.
Ollie's gonna score, guys. F1 drivers want to
P14.
score points. They want to win. Doesn't
Well,
matter
so does
if it's
everybody else
winning.
on the green. You think Zoe doesn't want to score points?
So can't, even if you want to. But
Zhou Guanyu has scored points before.
okay.
The
Yeah,
Alfa
what, playing
Romeo was a
with
midfield
yourself?
car for a little bit.
Explain yourself.
The Alfa Romeo last year and the year before was almost a midfield car. Sorry, last year and then the year before. Almost a midfield car. They would score points every once in a while, and Joe would get some of them.
Sorry. I was gonna look it up. I want to see how many points he scored. So, Guanyu Formula
last season?
1 points. Zhou
I
scored
probably
6
scored more than him.
points in 2023.
You like that? How many did Logie Boy score?
Logan Sargent has never scored a point, I think.
Nah, he scored one on a technicality. It's when it's that race where like 3 drivers got disqualified at the end.
And
You're
it was
right.
in Austin, wasn't it?
I think it was
It was in Austin.
Austin. It was Austin.
It was Austin, yeah.
After a spectacular race in Austin, the American managed to secure his first point in Formula 1.
USA.
USA. Interesting.
All right,
All
let's
right.
move on to the next topic.
Going
Checo
into
is
the-
the only driver
Well-
who has won this race twice.
Yeah, that's true. That's a fact.
Wait, Max hasn't won this race twice?
Nope.
Wow. That's a good fact to know for the predictions.
Checo is the only driver in Formula One history who's won this race twice. And last year, he won the race and the sprint. Max couldn't catch him. Max was behind him the whole race.
Is this a sprint weekend?
It is not.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a little fun fact. I saw that they were, when they do the driver interviews on Thursday, the first question they asked, well, not the first question, but the main question they asked Oscar and Lando was about the whole, drivers championship thing.
Mhm.
And Oscar openly said, I'm willing to help Lando in any way possible if the team asks me to. And he said he's been saying that for the past few races to the team. So it looks like the team is just not asking him to help Lando.
Well, can I add on to that? Because I did read 17 hours ago that McLaren will prioritize Lando Norris, says team principal Andrea Stella. Wait,
Mhm.
there's more. However,
Uh.
they still want to win the right way. And, I just don't trust Formula One. I mean, I'm sorry. I just don't trust McLaren winning the right way. They're gonna fuck this up. They're gonna fuck it up. And what's interesting though is that in the article it says that even though they're prioritizing Lando Norris, although Norris has priority, Oscar Piastri says there is still flexibility when it comes to team orders. What the fuck does any of this mean?
What is
I'm so
McLaren
confused.
doing?
I think they're doing their best. But they also asked Lando about that. And Lando said that he has they asked him about when he got overtaken. And, does he think that they should let him swap back and blah, blah, blah. And he said that he completely understands what Oscar's doing and agrees with it because Oscar is the driver on the Formula One grid who is trying to win the race just like every other driver.
Yeah.
So the way that Drive to Survive made him look not so nice when he was like, yeah, I don't feel bad for Daniel Ricciardo. I don't feel bad for anybody. I'll crush everybody, whatever. Made him look like kind of a jerk. He's able to understand that everybody else is going to be a jerk too.
Okay.
Damn.
Yes. to
Karma.
all of that. But what if they crashed?
What if they crash? I mean,
No.
it was super clean. It was a clean pass.
Here's my butt. Do that. McLaren needs to understand. It's like that whole Will Buxton rant. I get it. Lando, yeah, Oscar is trying to achieve, a win just like everybody else on the grid. But McLaren needs to step in and understand that you guys are right now in a position where you can take a constructors championship, right? So you gotta step in and whoop your cock out and just
Ooh.
say, "Hey, Lando needs to be the number one driver right now because he potentially can also bring in a drivers championship."
Yeah.
And,
I
with Oscar helping, they could get a constructor as well. But they keep playing this whole like, "Oh, we don't have no number one driver. We don't have no this and that." It's gonna cost them, man. I'm like rooting for them, but at the same time, when they keep doing these stupid things, I'm just like, you guys don't deserve it. That's my
I'm
take.
rooting for them too. I'm rooting for good racing and for Max to win the championship.
You know
Yeah,
what?
because you're a Red Bull fan. Me
I'm
too. I just want good
I
racing.
don't disagree with you, Eddie. Like, I think that this would be an amazing victory for Max Verstappen, and it would be really fun to see him win. I feel like at this point, I'm so annoyed with the way Lando and McLaren are handling all this that like it still wouldn't.
I'm
It
annoyed.
doesn't feel like a good win. But for Max to have all these struggles and come back and win the drivers' championship, that would be fun to watch.
It would be cool. He'd win it with easily the third best car on the grid. Because I think the
Yes.
Ferrari is just better now. I think they have
Yes.
actually the third best car.
Mm-hmm.
McLaren,
Mhm.
Ferrari, Red Bull.
Yeah. McLaren,
Maybe
Ferrari, small gap. Red Bull, Mercedes, like even, and then huge gap the rest of the field.
yeah. So hold on, I'm analyzing this real quick. Remember we spoke on the last podcast about how Red Bull is just going to abandon working on next year's car to make this year's cars better.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is because they're trying to persuade Max that like we still got it. Let us prove to you that we can like give you a good car, because of course he's thinking about going to another team and there's talks of him going to Aston Martin and stuff. So like maybe they're trying to prove something to him and help him get back to getting that championship this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. Except I don't think they're trying to prove it. I think they're just doing it for Max. I don't think they have to prove anything. You know what I mean? I think they're just gonna do whatever they can to make sure that. No, they don't need to prove to Max that they know how to win races because he's been winning races with them for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, I'm saying they're trying to prove it to Max. Like we can still give you a fast car.
They're just trying not to lose
we know
him.
Max can win.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. They're trying to keep Max happy.
No, I get you. You're like yes, but I don't think it's like pandering to him. I think they're genuinely just like want him to win it because like he in their eyes like he deserves it. If that makes sense. It's not to pander to him. It's to
there's a part that I'm sure there
yes
is.
to both of you.
You're scared
yes
that
to
he's
both
gonna
of you.
leave.
They want him to win, yes, but they also don't want him to leave.
Yes. That's why you're in the middle of the screen, because you're like the good balance between me and Eddie.
That's funny. The last little tidbit of information, there wasn't that much news, even though we're 24 minutes in.
Hey.
Was that Alpine and Honda were found to have breached the cost cap last year, if I understood properly. I don't think it's this year. I think it's for last year.
Yes,
but
I read something about that about last year too.
They haven't decided on any punishment, and they're probably gonna settle something. I don't know how harsh the punishment is going to be, and I don't know how far they breached it. But Red Bull breached the cost cap and got reduced wind tunnel time, and that's it's really showing now like how effective that is. They already had the least amount of wind tunnel time, and then they got penalized more, and now they're really struggling to figure out the aerodynamics. So we'll see what they do. When you say
Honda, does that mean RB as well?
No, it just means I'm assuming Honda. I mean, I didn't know this prior, but that Honda itself, as an engine supplier, has a cost cap, and they breached it.
Okay, gotcha.
Damn, I didn't know that.
No.
Well, that's what this podcast is for. 3 Americans learning Formula One. One
And hopefully
formula,
more watching it.
3 Americans.
Yeah, maybe like 3 or 4 more. Couple Brazilians.
Hey,
Oi,
speaking
gente.
of Brazilians,
Somebody. Anybody out there?
it sounds like Bordello is gonna get that last seat.
Try that again.
I didn't say it right.
Bortoleto.
Borchileto.
Who?
Well, how do I say it?
Barrichello.
Bortoleto.
Barrichello.
Is it It's not Barrichello though. It's Bortoleto.
Barrichello.
You're messing with me, guys.
Okay, so how do you say it?
How would you say
Let me see.
Bortoleto? Gabriel Bortoleto.
He's looking it up in Google.
I'm looking it up.
Gabriel
Gabriel Bortoleto.
Bortoleto.
So I guess
sounds
in
like a
America we say Bortoleto. Or
Bortoleto.
we would say
Yeah.
Bortoleto.
Bortoleto. All right, let's look at the Baku
Yeah.
City
Man,
circuit.
Let's do it. Okay.
let's do it.
Baku.
So, I mean, it's one of the fastest tracks on the calendar, but it has a very
Yep.
tricky second sector where you're driving through the old city. And that's where Charles Leclerc had the famous "I am stupid" crash, where he crashed into the wall next to the castle. But it's for being a street circuit, it's actually a pretty good racing circuit. There's usually a lot of overtakes. So we'll see what happens. But it's got 2 DRS zones, and the second one, I guess, on the lap is from the last turn until the first turn, and it's crazy long, like ridiculously long. That whole third sector is basically one long straight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a fun fact.
Yeah.
This track has had, in the history of F1, the fastest speed recorded in F1 history
Wow.
by Mr. Valtteri Bottas
Valtteri Bottas,
Wow.
not
in
even
2016 with the
faster
Well,
than Monza.
In his final
Yeah.
season in Formula One, he has the opportunity to do it again.
Oh yeah, driving a trash
okay,
compactor.
in a Hummer. So yeah, back in 2016, he hit 235 miles per hour, which is
Jeez.
equivalent to 378 kilometers per hour. It wasn't during a race though; it was during qualifying.
That's wild.
Okay,
Well, that's
that was
fast.
Mercedes.
That was with Mercedes, yeah.
Dope.
That was right when they started, actually right in the middle of their domination sensation era.
Mm-hmm.
I did notice that this track has lots of turns.
It has 20 corners. But the 4 at the end aren't like the last 3 aren't real corners.
They are,
full
but
speed.
they're not.
Is there something in 20? What is that?
It's just a kink.
Mhm.
But that's
So-
where the
So from 19 to 20 and 1, that speed right there,
Mhm.
that's a landing strip.
Yeah.
You can land the plane there.
Yeah, going into turn 1 is where Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen famously crashed back in like 2018.
Can we bring up that
Mm.
graphic to all our viewers? Look
What
at that.
graphic?
Did we have the graphic ready?
Of the
What
track.
graphic are you talking about?
Look at that. Well, the track.
Oh,
From
just the
1920
just the layout of the
all way
track.
to 1.
Yeah, it's
No.
basically one long straight. I think it would be officially the longest straight on the calendar if it didn't have the kink. But I think the one in Shanghai is longer because it's completely straight.
Yeah, but that kink, like, come on. That's a little tire warm up right there.
On heavy fuel, the drivers might have to lift off to make the turn. They might. I'm not sure. I'm not an F1 driver. But in the F1 game, on heavy fuel, you do.
What do you mean?
Sometimes. When the car is really heavy and loaded with fuel, you can't just take that corner full speed. You have to like lift off the gas to slow the car down just a little bit to make the turn.
Damn.
Oh, it's actually 19
Look
that
at
I'm
that.
thinking about. It's 19 that I'm thinking about, not 20. 20 is not real.
Yeah.
20 just doesn't seem like one, but technically it is. Like
Yeah.
you turn your steering wheel just a tad bit for that. But
The
Between
podium.
16,
The podium last year.
17, 18, 19, 20. Oof, you can gain some speed. Sorry, Eddie, go ahead.
I was gonna say the podium last year was Checo in first, Max in second, Leclerc third, and I think that was Checo's last win. I think that's the
whoa,
last time Checo won a race.
whoa.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah. That just reminds me of Mexico when he was so excited he just ran off the track.
And he took Leclerc with him.
I'm excited for Mexico this year.
Yeah.
I hope he gets to have a good race. Yeah, I'm excited for predictions. You
Yeah,
guys want to do that?
Let's talk about it.
Let's
Alright.
do it, but I have a question before it.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie, what's the score of the Dolphins game?
I don't know. It's on commercial break right now. I think it's 24-10. It was
Okay.
halftime. Basically, the whole time that
Two
we've
touchdowns.
been recording, it was halftime.
Football.
Let's wrap this up so I can watch the end.
All right, here we go. Predictions for quali pole position. Here I go. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Lando Norris.
Got him.
Mm-hmm.
That's like saying Max Verstappen 10 months ago.
I'm trying to win over here, guys.
Will, who you got? I think Lando only. Sorry, I think Lando only has like 7 pole positions in his career, and saying
Yes,
I think Lando is going to win pole now feels like saying Max is going to get pole last year. Isn't that crazy? How fast Max was completely dominant, and Lando has
the car,
7
man.
pole positions in his whole career.
It's
And
the front wing.
I don't say it's Lando. I don't say it's Lando. I say it's the car.
No, I know.
Right?
Well, Lando's a great driver. You have
Really?
to admit.
No,
You have to admit Lando's a great driver.
Yes. But imagine Max on that car.
I mean, I think it would be the same.
Imagine Max on that McLaren right now.
Yeah, I think it'd be the same. I think the McLaren is equivalent to where the RB19 was last year. Like the gap is that big.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We saw that 22nd lead the other day.
Yeah, and they managed to lose in Monza. Anyways, my pole prediction is going to be Mr. Charles Leclerc.
Okay.
Ferrari. Well, this track is pretty similar to Monza.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ferrari was pretty good in Monza. You have to admit.
Eddie, how are you telling me this track is the same as Monza, man?
It's similar. It's similar because it's going to be a low downforce track, meaning they're going to bring their main concern is to be fast in the straights, and Ferrari's fast in a straight line.
Low downforce meaning high speed track, right?
Correct.
So
meaning you have less drag on the straights. So when you add downforce to your car, it comes with adding bigger wings and stuff that increases your drag on the straights, so you'll go slower in the straights. But when you look at these low downforce packages that these constructors bring, like the wings are all shaved off. There's basically no aerodynamics on the car, which makes it difficult to turn the car. But they don't need to do it that often, and they lose more time. If they were faster in the corners, they'd lose more time on the straights, if that makes sense. Being faster, to be faster in the corners, they'd lose more time because the straights are so long.
So is it like that for every race? Or like when you have to analyze the track and determine like, okay, we're going to be faster in the straights and slower on the corners, or faster on the corners, slower in the straights? Is it like that pretty much for all of them?
Yeah. Do you remember there was a race last year where I think it was Silverstone where McLaren really broke out as being a contender, where it was Lando and Lewis who were Lewis was trying to catch Lando, and Lewis was faster in sectors 1 and 3, so he would get right behind Lando, and then as soon as you had to start making the corners, the McLaren had a higher downforce package, so Lando would completely break away, put a second gap between him and Lewis, And Lewis even said like
Mm-hmm.
that McLaren is a rocket ship on the corners.
I remember
That was a
Yeah.
difference in like car setup, meaning Lewis was faster in the straights, Lando was faster in the corners. And it evened
Gotcha.
out to where they were pretty much neck and neck throughout the, you know, the rest of that race when they were racing each other. But they like one person decided to sacrifice the corners, the other person decided to sacrifice the straight line speed.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you noticed,
Strategy.
babe, for those tracks with a lot of corners and stuff, you know, Red Bulls, they actually take off the Red Bull logos from their cars
What do you mean?
I think he's
because Red
bullshitting.
Bulls give you wings. No?
That's too funny. My light
Okay,
just
on to
died.
the podiums.
My light died.
It's okay. It's
I got
okay.
another light.
For the people that have made it this far, we're sorry that Eddie's light has
Nobody's
died.
made it this far.
All right,
We made it this far.
we're gonna go into podiums. Okay. I'm saying this because I want to speak it into existence. Okay, you guys
Go
ready
for
for
it.
this? Lando, Leclerc, Sainz, because I've been really upset with Piastri. I'm being a hater right now, and I'm not putting him up there.
So how do we feel about the light? Do we like the other light better or this one? This is the OG light.
I feel like you look
I
the
like
same.
the other one better.
Oh, the other one
Really?
I
No,
was
you look
shiny.
blue now.
He looked blue before.
Okay. So Lando, Leclerc, Sainz. Those are V's predictions.
Yes. Will?
What do you got, Will?
I got Lando, Oscar, and Mr. Charles Leclerc.
Wow. We have almost the same podiums. Let's see who got the right order. Because I
I
got
write his name
Leclerc.
right.
I got Leclerc winning.
Leclerc. I wrote Leclerc.
I got Leclerc P1, Lando P2, Carlos P3.
You're trying to get Leclerc in the Drivers' Championship, aren't you?
Ferrari is going to crush it this week.
I want to see the Drivers' Championship again. I'm going to bring that up. What was the last race we had? Monza. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, here we go.
62 points between Max and Lando.
He's
What
still
about
in
between
it.
Norris and Leclerc?
I think Leclerc's still in it.
26 points in the for the drivers? No way.
Yeah.
It's too big. The gap is way too big.
You don't think Lando could mess things up really badly?
No, he can, but like not only does he have to beat Max, he has to beat Lando every week. He has to beat two drivers every week.
Crazier things have happened.
No, I mean
Kevin Magnussen has 0 points on his
technically
his license.
if Max loses this drivers championship, it'll be the biggest gap that any driver has lost. If that makes sense. Like it'll be the biggest gap that was overcome.
Wow. What a victory. Yeah. And I still feel like Lando, I don't know, it doesn't feel like you can celebrate it because there's been just so much drama and so negative this season.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Maybe they turn it around this week.
Hopefully.
Maybe there'll be a breakout performer.
Oh, speaking of, my breakout performer is going to be Sergio Perez.
Hell yeah. I almost went with Checo.
Yeah. I just feel like since he's done well, he's going to continue to do well. And then as far as my broken.
Wait. Nah, you know what? Keep going. So I was going to say, what's a breakout for him? P6?
I mean, it depends on where Max finishes.
Like I think we could debate it.
Yeah, it'll be debatable, but it really depends on where Max finishes.
Yeah. I'm gonna do what Will did last week. Just because I don't think it's fair
Oh,
but I'm
no.
still gonna do it because he did it.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Zoo is the broken
Okay.
performer.
All right.
If Will's gonna play those games, I'm gonna play those games too.
Here
I'm
we
trying
go.
to win over here.
Here we go. All right. Well, who do you got? Who's your breakout and your broken performer?
So for breakout, I also had Checo.
That's fine.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
with Williams as a
Williams.
breakout.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
If Colapinto does poorly, you understand the commitment you're taking right now.
And I'm trying to win this podcasters championship here. All right, hold on. Let me think about this. All right, let's give my breakout for now, real quick.
No.
For broken, I have Red Bull.
Wow. Okay.
Red Bull. You know what? I'll stick to my
Okay.
guns. Breakout, Williams, broken, Red Bull.
Okay.
Boom. Lock it in.
Done.
My breakout is almost Williams, but
Oh,
it's
yeah, wait, I gotta write
specifically
it.
Alexander Albon.
Hmm.
And my broken performer is going to be Lance Stroll. It's I think it's not going to be a good weekend for your boy.
Coming out with the good news is not gonna give him the pep in his step.
I mean, I just think he's been too solid for too long. I think it's time for even though I mean I think he got 19th in whatever race in Monza, but I mean he did 3 pit stops when most people did 1. He boxed at the end of the race to try to get fastest lap, and he was still slower than Leclerc, who was on like 50 lap old tires.
Oh, Stroll. You see, those are the things you don't see on TV because you're like looking at the stuff that's actually important, and then they don't show that on the broadcast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, wild prediction.
What you
I got one for y'all. Ready? Behrman scores points.
Okay.
Said it.
All in.
Said it.
Behrman scores points. What about you, Will?
You know, Eddie, I was really gonna go with what you put as well. Like that's what I had, and it's fine, right? We could have the same thing. But I like to spice it up.
Spice it up.
I'm gonna go with Yuki in the points.
Yuki in the points. I almost went for RB as my broken.
Yuki's gonna bring in
That is a
points.
wild prediction. If Yuki scores points, that would be a wild prediction. My wild prediction is there will be at least one safety car. We haven't had a safety car
For
in
sure,
like
there's
8
gonna be a
races.
safety car. No,
Listen, we
For
say that
sure,
every
there's
week.
gonna be a safety car.
We
I
say
think
that
there's gonna
every week.
be.
And
I think there's gonna be 2 safety cars.
There hasn't been a safety car in 8 races.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
Tomorrow, no, Sunday, there will be a safety car.
Safety car.
Yeah.
Safety
I
car.
think you're gonna win that one. I like how you
Maybe.
put at least 1, so that if
I
2
almost
happens-
went with 2, but
Yeah,
I
look,
wanted
if
to
2 happen, you don't
play it
get
safe.
points, brother.
What? At least 1.
No, because he worded it in a way where he's gonna get it no matter what. He's a little cheater.
At
That's
least
that's
1.
like putting Zoo as your broken performer. You know.
This is
Those
fun.
are
You're
predictions.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to the race.
Yeah.
I think
Hold on,
I'll
let me
be
write something here
awake
real quick.
already.
I had this written down just to prove you. I don't know if you can see it, but I had written
No.
down here Ali P14. That's just my bonus, you know. And if
Oh,
you
wait, are
guys
we
decide
doing
to be
that?
nice and give me a bonus, I mean, you already put Behrman scores points.
Okay, but
I'm
I'll
putting
change it if we're doing that. I didn't know we were doing that. Are we doing it?
Behrman. No, that's just for me to keep saying like I told you so. Bonus.
Okay.
And this doesn't have to count toward our championship.
Okay. That's what you guys want to do.
Okay.
Did you guys see? I don't know if this is true, but did you guys see that what's this guy's name? Piastri, he posted a picture in an airplane Did you hear about that?
No.
No.
He posted a picture yesterday on an airplane, and he was like, "Oh, more buttons than I'm used to," right? And then apparently, like, he got a phone call to like take it down because obviously he didn't notice that yesterday was like 9/11.
Oh
Yeah,
no, I didn't see that.
brutal.
What buttons?
You know,
He was in
like
the
how this,
cockpit, I'm assuming.
yeah, he was in the cockpit of an airplane. Yeah.
Hi,
So
people, grow up, everybody.
no, I know,
I
but
didn't
still.
even think about that when you made that comment.
Yeah, I mean neither.
Also in Azerbaijan,
Whatever.
the people have been posting pictures of Logan Sargent. Like the street banners that are on the poles.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
like they still had Logan Sargent up.
Oh man. They gotta promote the race somehow.
Yeah, so I think that's all I have for you guys from the Twitter world, because you guys know I live in the Twitter world.
Yeah.
Bring
Maybe we
us
can
some
call it here.
memes on
It's
Sunday.
46 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. Just bring us some memes on Sunday for whatever happens in the race.
I got you guys. I got you. And I got you guys at home too. So thanks for hanging out with us today. You saw that transition?
Nice little segue. You're like, I got you, and I got you guys.
We're getting good at this thing. People better start watching soon because
It's too funny.
all right. Well, thank you for hanging out with us, whoever did, to Overtakes F1 podcast. And you make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow the socials, make sure you do all of the things that we want you to do, like press the like button, and
watch.
we will see you guys on the next episode to review the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Ciao.
Bye, everybody.